Breaking news for Australian seniors. Centrelink has just confirmed brand new payment dates, and the exact amount you'll be getting might surprise you. Some seniors could see up to $1,730 more in their pockets this year. But here's the thing. Not everything you're seeing online is true, and I'm breaking down what's real and what's not, right now. Before we go further into details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post regular updates about Centrelink, pensions, and cost of living news, so you'll always be the first to know when important changes drop. Alright, let's get into the details. So first, let's talk about what's actually been confirmed by the Government and Services Australia. From September 20th, 2025, a new round of indexation increases took effect across a range of social security payments, including the age pension, disability support pension, and carer payment. These increases happen twice a year in March and September to keep payments in line with inflation and cost of living pressures. For the age pension specifically, the full single rate has gone up by $29.70 per fortnight, which means seniors who receive the maximum rate will now be getting about $1,178.70 every 2 weeks. That's an increase of around $770 a year. For couples, each partner will see an increase of about $22.40 per fortnight, bringing their new combined total to around $1,627.80 per fortnight. These changes include not just the base pension amount, but also the pension supplement and the energy supplement, which are smaller top-ups included in the regular payments. Now, where does the number $1,930 come from? You've probably seen posts on Facebook, TikTok, or even news-like websites saying there's an extra $1,930 being rolled out to all seniors. The truth is, there is no official government announcement confirming a one-off $1,930 lump sum payment for pensioners. That number appears to have come from speculative articles and social media posts that misinterpreted the cumulative annual benefit of several increases or combined payments over time. Essentially, if you add up the biannual indexation increases and multiply them over the course of a year, some people arrive at roughly $1,930 extra per year for singles. But that's not a one-time payment you'll get in your bank account. It's a gradual increase spread over your normal fortnightly payments. So while it's good news that payments are rising, the claim that seniors are suddenly getting an extra $1,930 right now is not accurate. It's always crucial to check your information against official sources like the Department of Social Services or Services Australia's official website, not social media. Let's move to what matters most, when you'll actually see the next payment hit your bank account. For many seniors, timing is everything when it comes to budgeting. Centrelink follows a strict payment schedule, but it can vary slightly depending on your specific payment type and your bank. For those receiving the age pension, the most recent payment issue date for October 2025 is Thursday, October 16th, and the direct deposit date, when you'll actually see it in your account, is expected to be Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. If you're wondering why there's a gap, that's just the standard processing time between when the payment is issued and when it lands in your account. Some banks might release it sooner, while others take a business day or two. Also keep in mind, if your payment date happens to fall on a weekend or a public holiday, Centrelink often pays you earlier, usually the last business day before that holiday. So, if you're watching from Queensland, New South Wales, or Victoria, always double check around holiday periods like Christmas or Labor Day. Payments may arrive early. Now, let's talk about who qualifies for the increase and how it's calculated. The age pension increase applies to those who are on the full rate of payment, meaning you meet the age requirement, currently 67 years old or older as of July 2024, and your income and assets are under the set thresholds. If you're a homeowner, the asset limit is slightly lower than if you rent, and the same applies to income. Any earnings or superannuation drawdowns can reduce your pension amount. That's why two people of the same age can receive very different payments. For example, a single pensioner who has no other income might receive the full $1,178.70 per fortnight, while another with part-time work or additional savings could receive a reduced rate. For couples, each partner's situation is assessed, and both must be eligible to receive the partnered rate. It's also worth noting that if you're on a part pension, your increase might be smaller, or in some cases, you might not see any increase at all, depending on deeming rates and how your investments perform. So, if you notice your increase doesn't match what others are saying online, don't panic. Your personal situation plays a huge role in that. I also want to clear up some confusion about supplements and bonuses. Some people think the energy supplement or pension supplement are new bonuses, but they're actually ongoing components built into your regular payments. These aren't extra one-off payments, but rather small amounts added each fortnight to help offset specific costs, like energy bills or essential living expenses. The government hasn't announced any new bonus payments beyond the standard indexation. However, some states and territories occasionally offer their own cost of living rebates or electricity credits, so if you live in places like Western Australia or Queensland, you may see separate one-off energy relief payments on your utility bills, but those are state programs, not Centrelink initiatives. Now, because there's been so much misinformation floating around, I want to emphasize the importance of avoiding scams. Scammers are getting very clever, and they often use real headlines or realistic-looking emails to trick people. They'll send messages that look like they're from Centrelink or MyGov, saying things like, "You're eligible for a $119.30 senior bonus. Click here to claim." Please, never click those links. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission and Services Australia have repeatedly warned that they never send payment update links via text or email. If you need to check your payments, type my.gov.au directly into your browser. Don't use links from messages or social media comments. And if something sounds too good to be true, like a massive lump sum bonus with no official announcement, it usually is. Another common question I get in the comments is whether the government might announce additional cost of living relief later in the year. The truth is, while nothing has been confirmed yet for 2025 beyond the standard indexation increases, the federal government does review Social Security payments regularly, especially when inflation remains high. So it's possible that future budgets, such as the May 2026 federal budget, could introduce temporary top-ups or new rebates. But until those are officially tabled in Parliament, we can't treat them as real payments. The best approach is to stay subscribed here on the channel and keep an eye on official sources like Services Australia's news page. As soon as anything is confirmed, I'll break it down here with all the details. So, what should you do right now? First, log into your MyGov account and check your Centrelink payment summary. You'll be able to see your updated rate and next payment date. Make sure all your information, like your income, assets, and address, are accurate. If you've recently started part-time work, withdrawn super, or moved homes, it's vital you report those changes, because incorrect details can lead to overpayments or debts later on. Next, mark your payment dates on your calendar or phone so you can manage your budget easily. And finally, don't rely on social media rumors. Always verify with Services Australia or the Department of Social Services. Let's also talk briefly about how these payment increases fit into the bigger picture. Over the past 2 years, Australian seniors have faced higher food costs, rent, and utility bills, and the government has been under pressure to ensure that pension payments keep pace with real living expenses. That's why indexation is so important. It helps maintain the purchasing power of your pension. These latest increases are tied to the Consumer Price Index and the Pensioner and Beneficiary Living Cost Index, both of which measure the cost of goods and services pensioners typically buy. So, when those costs rise, your payments do too. But there's always a delay of several months. That's why these increases feel like they're always catching up, not getting ahead. And here's something to think about. Even though the increase might not seem huge, every dollar counts, and it's part of a broader safety net. Seniors also benefit from additional supports like the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, rent assistance, and energy rebates. So, if you haven't checked your eligibility for those, it's worth visiting the Services Australia website and using their Payment and Services Finder tool. You might discover benefits you didn't even realize you qualified for. Many people miss out on hundreds of dollars a year simply because they haven't applied for certain concessions. Now, as we wrap up, let's summarize everything clearly so there's no confusion. There's no verified official announcement of an extra flat $1,930 lump sum payment for all seniors. The confirmed update is a fortnightly increase of around $29.70 for singles and $22.40 for each member of a couple starting from September 20th, 2025. Payment dates are already set and can be checked through your Centrelink online account. Any claims of massive one-off bonuses should be treated with caution unless they appear on an official.gov.au site. And finally, remember that these increases are automatic. You don't need to apply or fill out any special forms. They'll appear automatically in your account when your next payment is processed. So, that's the latest breakdown on Centrelink payment dates and the exact amount changes for Australian seniors. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit the like button, share this video with your friends or family members who might benefit from this information, and drop a comment below letting me know where you're watching from and whether you've seen your increase yet. I love hearing from you all, and your comments help more people see accurate information instead of the misinformation that's going around. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed because I'll be covering upcoming updates on rent assistance, cost of living rebates, and possible bonus announcements as soon as they drop. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, if it's not from an official government source, take it with a grain of salt. And I'll see you in the next video.